It's Nolan. Price of admission rising. Entrepreneur connoisseur, I've been enterprising. Clean paper with immunizing, I need that. Microphone fiend broke away from the scene. Now I'm falling in the relapse. The young G-rap, fillet the game like a sea bass. Hitting levels, yeah, I mean, couldn't reach that. It ain't all about the money, but if money's vacant, it's like a stripper dog, ain't nothing shaking. I used to get them folk for folks, wishing that the industry would come and open the door. Used to book shows, never had nothing to show. The stage coming and go, turned the new leaf, got me heating up at the stove. The portfolio, sick as polio, tails like a Logiro. Homies, toe sticks, no Pinocchio. Pen game, publishing checks, looking like OVO. Quentin Miller, the shit thriller. Sick pillar, turn tough niggas to Ben Stiller. Slick puller, corporate, forever in style like Earth Forces. Flow so hot it could burn torches. Business had been booming, about to open a lab in my first office. Pompous, never had a compass. Killer with a conscience. See me on Ponce with my accomplice. Eating confit, you niggas calling it confit. Never forget where I'm from, we used to punch it. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know early, super early, starting this video out from the tippity. You might want to get you a snack or a beverage. Make sure everybody in the household is good. You know what I'm saying? If you need to get you some headphones so you can move about freely in your whereabouts as we get into this thing. Make sure you take whatever necessary precautions you need because this is not going to be a short video, okay? We're about to get into Cleotrapa coming out and basically exposing Ice Spice to the masses, letting it be known that she does not feel that she is a good friend, and the fact that she was invited to be a part of Ice Spice's Y2K tour, at least the American leg of said tour. However, she feels that she was mistreated, unfairly treated, and eventually discarded out of Ice Spice's presence for the most part throughout the tour because of any concerns that she had regarding her personal well-being as it pertained to her travels, her staying, her sleeping, all of those sorts of things. All right? Now, I must be honest, I did not know that Cleotrapa was a part of the Y2K tour. If you look at the promotion of said tour, Cleotrapa's name is not on it. It's nowhere to be found. And as a matter of fact, Cleotrapa comes out and says that she was not even invited to be a part of the tour until the day before it kicked off in America. Now, if you look at the Y2K tour, okay, it kicked off originally July 4th in Denmark. So the first run of dates on this tour, Ice was doing international overseas festivals. Excuse me. So she was in Denmark, she was in Poland, Austria, England, Switzerland, Romania, Belgium. She did those from July 4th up to July 18th. She came back to the States to jump off July 30th. So she had approximately 2 weeks, 12 days to recover, come back over, and get her affairs in order to jump off this tour, the American part of the tour, in D.C. Cleotrapa's first date on the tour was in Philadelphia, August 2nd. She claims that July 30th, I believe it was, or July 31st, one or the other, is when Ice Spice reached out to her and said, hey, you want to come on the road with me? Cleo original impression of this invitation was that she was being invited to accompany Ice on tour, not to perform, but to just be there as some sort of support. You know what I'm saying? Just to travel with her and watch her perform and be, I guess, some sort of, moral support while on the road. So she originally declined. She said, I can't do it. I got things I need to do in New York. I got stuff that, you know what I'm saying? I got a man. I got things here. I got responsibilities here. I can't just uproot myself and come on tour with you for the next 30 days. I ain't gonna be making no bread. I ain't gonna have shit going on. Right? She's an independent artist. Ice Spice is signed. Cleotrapa is not. Or she's signed to a small indie label. Right? Ice Spice says, no, I want you to open up on the tour. I want you to be a part of this. I want to bring you in. Okay? So at this point, I've given you a little bit of what's happening here. And for the next half hour or so, I'm going to let Cleotrapa speak her side of the story. Now, she went online and went live for close to an hour for time purposes and some of the extra fluff that didn't need to be there. I did edit this video down. I also sped it up slightly, not to the point where she sounds like a chipmunk or she's talking like super fast. She don't sound like an Eminem song, but we got it down from approximately 40 plus, almost 50 minutes to about a half hour of content. All right. And in between spaces where I feel are important to add context, I'll jump in. Y'all know how I do my videos. But for the most part, I want to let Cleo get her shit off to at least voice how she feels. And some of what she feels, I'll be honest, I don't agree with in terms of the business of what's being handled. But a lot of the things I understand where she's coming from, even if I don't agree. All right. So let's go ahead and jump this shit off because we're going to be here for a little minute. Little minute, man. Let's see what she talking about.
And for a lot of people that don't know, me and Ice did not grow up together. That is not my childhood friend. I met her 2 years ago. Before she blew up, I was very supportive of her. Before she even blew up, I was somebody that genuinely liked her. I was like, this girl is so cute. I seen her video on my Explore. She didn't even drop her viral song yet. And I was so supportive of her. Now, anyways, I'm just going to tell the story because you guys deserve to know. You guys deserve to know why we are not friends anymore because a lot of y'all loved us being together. You guys do deserve to know why we're not friends. Y'all do deserve to know who y'all are so obsessed with. Y'all love her so much. Y'all deserve to know who that girl is as an actual human being. As an actual human being. Fuck looks. Fuck looks. Fuck all of that. As a human being, at your soul. Y'all deserve to know. So the ending of July, I get a call from Ice very early in the morning. Cleo, come on tour with me. I miss you. Come. And I'm just like, girl, I'm not about to come on tour with you and watch you perform all month. Like, I got a nigga. I got stuff that I can be doing. I can be getting money. I have opportunities in New York. I have brand deals. I have things that I need to focus on. So for me to travel all over the United States with you to watch you perform kind of crazy. She's like, no, I want you to perform. And I gagged. You want me to perform? She ain't never, ever, ever, ever brought me out on stage. I was like, oh, wait. Okay, like, I guess this girl, in my head, this is what I'm thinking. I'm like, I guess she's really trying to make up for that fake shit that got exposed, like, a month ago. Like, she's really trying to, like, you know, be an actual friend because that shit was weird as fuck.
All right. Now, we've talked about how Ice Spice got exposed. And she actually, I won't even say got exposed because she eventually admitted to it. Remember the whole conversation with Baby Storm, how she was shitting on Cleo. She was shitting on Nicki Minaj. She was shitting on her own mama. And she also talked about how, you know, there was some testy events that took place between her alleged boyfriend, Riot, and New York rapper Lil TJ, right? We've talked about this a few times, but for many, many months, Ice Spice let this go unchecked to where you might have thought it was fake, but then she eventually came out and admitted that it was real, that her and Nicki ain't on the best of terms, but she still loves her, blah, blah, blah. All that shit, right? So when all of this gets confirmed, Cleo is now looking at the situation like, I thought that shit was fake, or at least I assumed or gave you the benefit of the doubt that it was, but now that you owning up to it, you was low-key hating on me, right? You was making fun of me while I was supposed to be coming out to Cali to visit you and Baby Storm. I didn't know that you was on that type of wave. So now she's saying Ice Spice is basically inviting her to open up on her tour, and she, in the back of her mind, feels like, okay, you're trying to make it up to me because of how you talked about me. All right? I just want to add a little bit of filling in the blanks for those that ain't been keeping up with these young ladies, because it's not like they're the biggest celebrities out there. Ice Spice is quote unquote popping, but as we can see, the public is not really, you know, checking for her the way that you would assume based on, you know, her presence. Her presence is much bigger than her actual impact. But we'll keep this thing rolling.
And I checked her about that shit, and even for her to apologize was like pulling teeth. Like, girl, you got caught calling your friend jealous for no fucking reason. And her excuse was that I didn't speak up when I was asked if she was Nigerian. Like, girl, I met you a month before that video. I didn't even know you was Nigerian. So that was kind of weird to me too, that she was upset at me for not knowing if she was Nigerian. And she said that you could have at least said I was black. Like, girl, I didn't even know you. Am I your PR? Am I supposed to be clearing up every time somebody's asking about you being black or Nigerian? Like, that's not my role, and I don't even know you. and I don't even know you. So I was so confused. Anyways, we moved past. Anyways, after that situation that had happened, with her ex-best friend exposing her for calling like just about everybody jealous, that was kind of like sick too. Because why do you think everybody's jealous of you? She literally tried to link me being jealous of her with that interview of me not knowing if she was Nigerian. And I'm just like, girl, are you crazy? And she never said that she felt the way. And it was just like, I didn't even know that she was mad at me. She's just in messages talking about me. So she tells me like, I think everybody's jealous of me. Don't take offense to it. I say that about everybody. I say that everybody's jealous of me. I even say that about my mom. Like, that's kind of sick. But okay. Like, okay. Fast forward though, I started thinking that a lot of the things that Ice was doing was calculated. Like even the thing after her best friend exposing her, it was like, oh, like let's go to the basketball game. Come with me to this basketball game. I'm thinking like, oh, she just wanted me to come with her to a basketball game. Like maybe she's trying to make it up. I don't know why I kept thinking like she was trying to make it up for being like caught being fake. But it was just like even the basketball game. It was like one day later she's like dropping a song. It's like every time she's like inviting me out, because we never chilled on some like chill shit, bro. Like it was never like just some chill. It was always like in the blogs the next day and the song is dropping too. So it was like, what? This girl kind of uses me for her rollouts. So I'm just like, okay. When the tour thing came out, I'm like, oh, she's actually trying to like give me something now. Like, okay. She's trying to make it up. She's trying to be an actual good friend. I made a flyer announcing that I was going to be coming on tour with her. It did not even get reposted. It didn't even get a comment or like, and she was tagged in it. The bill, it didn't even have my name on it. Like, just about nobody knew I was coming on tour. It was like a special guest. Like, she didn't even like shine any sort of like her own light on me. It was like kind of like all me. Like, I want my fans to come out. Like, she didn't really try to like mesh me in with her actual fan base or try to like put her fan base onto me. Very.
All right. So I made reference to this in the beginning of the video. Cleo's name is not on any of the flyers. It's not on the tour website. It's not on the ticket website where you can purchase tickets to come support the show, to where, you know, let's just say if Cleotrapa had 2 fans in each city, and 2 fans, you know, is not an enormous amount of nothing, right? But let's just say she had people that would have otherwise wanted to come out and see her. You would want to get that information from the official tour itinerary, you know what I'm saying? So you'd be like, oh shit, Ice Spice featuring Cash Cobain and Cleotrapa, because Cash Cobain's name was featured on the tour. He was promoted as being a part of the tour, right? However, Cleotrapa, she was nowhere in any of the copy, right? So then she goes and creates her own flyer, you know what I'm saying, so that she can have some sort of promo to let people know that she's coming out on the road with Ice Spice. And she received no support in that either. Ice Spice never retweeted it, never reposted it. So there is no real, cross promotion happening. There's no form of solidarity. There's no uniformity to what's going on, which off the rip is making Cleo feel some type of way, because it's like, damn, I'm finna be on a tour as like an invisible fucking ghost. I can understand the frustration on that.
Calculated, you know? It was just giving like, oh, let's let Cleo eat, but we gonna give her crumbs. Like, we gonna shine light on her, but let's dim it. You know what I'm saying? It just gave that so much. Online says the show starts at 8. It would even say 9 sometimes. And guess what time I was going on? At 7:30, 7:45. I was going on before the show starts. So that was kind of weird in itself. I had no idea what to expect going on.
I'm going to jump in here because although I do understand, this is Cleo's first tour, you're not the first artist to experience that, right? There's certain instances where certain people's tour, there may be 2-3 openers. You may have a local opener in the city that you're going to. You might have 2-3 openers from the local city. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we got, let's just use some random names, right? We got A$AP Rocky headlining for the tour. But then he's got a supporting act like, let's just say Joey Badass. And we don't know if this is, this is all make-believe, fake for the sake of example, right? So we got A$AP Rocky headlining. He's got Joey Badass as his, official opener, right? Throughout the tour. And some dates he may not be there because he's got acting gigs or whatever the fuck. Let's just make it as real as possible, right? But then when you go to the city, you want some local talent that may be able to, warm the crowd up before we actually get to the official opener. So you may add 3 acts, let them go on. You know, this person may get 5 minutes on stage. This person may get 10 minutes on stage. This person may get 15, you know what I'm saying? So that you kind of consume that first hour while people are trying to get into the venue, trying to get their seats, trying to get their food if they're going to get it, beverages, make sure nobody's sitting in their spot or whatever the fuck they got to do, get everybody situated. There's some form of entertainment. Now, there could be a DJ that takes that space, but there's also artists that will put other artists from each city there in that space, right? So basically, Cleo, you were the entertainment while people got themselves situated. This is your first tour experience. I'm pretty much under the impression neither you or Ice Spice is very educated about how the industry runs or how these types of things go. So I do understand why you would be confused, but this is actually quite standard, all right? Just to be honest, because you're not a primary act. You are, although you're a part of the tour, and unfortunately you're not on the bill, you're not the attraction by any means, right? But we're going to let you continue.
I had no idea until I got on tour and started seeing certain things, and I'm just like, wait, why don't I have that? I didn't have a room. I was told I was going to be with her, but I didn't have a room. A room for me backstage at all. I was in her dressing room. I didn't have no writer. I was with her. And before I came on tour, I asked her what were the things that I was going to have to pay for, because this is so last minute. Like, you're only giving me one day to prepare. Like, it's July 30 something and we going on tour August 1st. Like, girl, like literally one day. So I'm just like, what do I have to pay for? Nothing. You're going to be with me. You're good. You're going to be with me. So I was like, okay, everything is handled. I'm just going to go. I'm going to make the best out of it. I'm going to make the absolute best out of it. I don't have no dances or nothing. I'm just going to go out there and do what I can do. So that's that. I'll tell y'all how the tour went now. Please keep in mind that before I went on tour, I had one day to prepare. One single day. Everything was a rush, but you know, I'm looking at this like, okay, this is going to be good for me. And again, I didn't know what to expect. This is my first tour. Like, I wasn't allowed to bring anybody. She said if I brought anybody, I was going to have to pay for their hotel and transportation. I'm just like, girl, I didn't even have time to prepare for this. Like, I only got one day. Like, you feel me? Like, you, it's damn near like me putting everything, like putting my needs to the side to accomplish something. I have things to pay for myself as an independent artist. So, of course, I'm thinking, like, of ways to not come too much out of pocket for a tour that doesn't even have me on the bill.
Now, that is a good point. You know what I'm saying? Especially as a woman. Now, let's just say, comparatively speaking, I won't use myself as an example because I think I've said too much in, adversely about Ice Spice's music to ever get the invitation. But let's just say you use anybody. Just use West Bumblefuck. You know what I'm saying? He gets the invite to be on Ice Spice's tour, open up, and, you know, the exact same circumstances are present, except for the fact that he probably can pack 2 weeks worth of clothes. You know what I'm saying? Niggas, man, you can wear the same jeans multiple times while you're out on the road and nobody give a fuck. You get a few shirts, you know what I'm saying? As long as you got a chain and some decent shoes and a you know what I mean, couple cool hats. As a nigga, you could go out there and do a variation of like 5 different outfits, about 6 different ways, you know what I'm saying? However you gonna do the shit. And people won't even give a fuck that you pretty much wearing the same shit. But as a woman, you know, it's a whole glam a part of it. You know what I'm saying? What's she gonna do with her hair, her makeup? You know what I'm saying? Outfit, wardrobe, shoes. You know what I'm saying? Because women are expected to entertain in a different type of way. From how they look, to the way they move, to the way that they, you know what I'm saying? Then you finally get around to, damn, can she even rap? Or can she sing? You know what I'm saying? There's so many different variables that she had to take into account with one day's notice and not having the proper budget set aside for any other unforeseen expenses. Again, she's an independent artist going out with a major label act for the next 30 days, and she's never done this before, right? We want to keep that all into perspective.
Like, I'm not even on the lineup, like, okay. Anyways, let's go into how the tour went. So, first couple of days was cute. We went to Philly, and this is when things go left now. Yeah, we're in a hotel room. We're not sure if we're gonna like bring our bags to the venue, because I guess like we were gonna come back to the hotel. But she told me, don't leave your bags at the venue. You might need some. Don't leave your bags at the hotel. You might need something in it. And I was like, okay, I'll bring it. Her security, who brings all her bags, she has like 10 bags. He brought my bag, brought the bags down, and now we're at the venue. And I do need something in the suitcase. Like I had a wardrobe malfunction, like she said I probably would have. That's that she cursed me, okay? Because now I do have a wardrobe malfunction. So I'm like, oh, how can I get the bag? She's like, tell the security to get it for you. I go to the security. I'm like, can you get my bag out the trunk? Because I have no idea where the trunk is, where the car went. We just came into the venue like, we artists, we working, whatever. He goes, he gets the bag, brings it upstairs. I change, da-da-da-da. End of the show. I put my bag next to her 10 bags and the big black dresser. And yeah, I'm thinking everything is going to be moved like back into the truck and we could, leave, go back to the hotel. I turned around and my bag is still there. My bag was still there. All her bags was gone. I'm just like, why would somebody just leave my bag? Like, I asked the security, I'm like, can you take my bag? He said, no. I was like, what the fuck? What's going on? He brought all her bags. Okay. I'm like, can I pay somebody to bring my bags down? Because I didn't want to bring the bags down. Why would I want to bring the bags down? I'm just a girl. So I'm asking around, nobody's word. So I'm like, all right, let me bring the bags. I'm tight though. I'm tight. Like, I'm not used to this stuff. Like, what the fuck? I'm just supposed to be performing. Need I remind you, I'm not even allowed to bring somebody on tour with me. So I didn't really have anybody helping me. It was just me.
Now, for this piece here, this is actually where the friendship versus the business starts to get a little mumbo jumbo convoluted, right? Because had anyone else been invited to be a part of this tour, you wouldn't have been traveling with Ice Spice. You would have been responsible for getting from city to city. You wouldn't have been able to stay in Ice Spice's room, which means that wherever you were going, whatever town you were going, you would have been separate. If Ice Spice is staying at the Four Seasons, you probably was going to be spending, spending your time, you might have been at the Six. Okay. Basically wherever you can afford. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to stay a couple times in the Four Seasons to be in close proximity to Ice, that's at your expense. But if you're trying to stretch your money out and be wise about the situation, you're going to get the most affordable hotel that you can get to, stay in, and, and trail. So I do understand the confusion because she was not, privy to how an artist typically would have to do this situation, have to go through this. You have a famous friend that's inviting you out and told you that everything is supposed to be taken care of. So you're under the impression that that's what you're going to receive. And unfortunately, there's a bait and switch there, which you're definitely entitled to feel a way about. I think you should be, you probably should have, yay. I don't know. But I get the anger. I get the, how you feel. But also keep in mind that the average artist, independent artist that would have gotten this opportunity, they would have had to come out of pocket for everything. So this is where new industry kind of gets a little bit confusing, right? Because you're not the draw, you're not the act, you're not the person bringing asses into the seats, you're not the name on the bill that's like selling drinks, that's responsible, for none of this stuff going on. These people don't even see your name on the bill, so they're not even expecting you to be there. So for Ice Spice and team, they feel like they're doing you a favor. On your side, you feel like my friend is treating me poorly. And I think both sides in this particular instance, at least as far as we've gotten to here, both of y'all are kind of in the right based on how you feel. I think Ice Spice definitely should take some accountability for misleading you, not giving you the rundown of what to expect, especially, since she knows you've never been out on tour. She knows your situation. She knows that this can be an expensive experience. And she also knows that she doesn't want you like shadowing her everywhere that she goes for all of her whereabouts. So she definitely misled you and she should take accountability for that. She's definitely at fault for that. But unfortunately, there seems to have been nobody in Cleo's corner that could give her some sort of explanation as to what to expect. And I think she has management. She has some sort of small label behind her that should have given her the rundown. And we're going to get to that as well because Ice Spice's manager has a few things to say concerning all of this, but we're going to let her tell her side of the story first because this is what blew up everything today. All right. And again, I'm just butting in for additional context on how things work in standard situations versus what she was presented with.
But I feel like she could have simply said to the security, like, take Cleo's bag. Don't forget Cleo's bag. But I got a sense that she just wanted me to struggle. And that's kind of fucked up as, like, a friend. Like, so I carry the bags. I take one duffel bag. I'm walking down. It's pouring outside. I put it in the car. The fans are screaming, Cleo, can we get a picture? Cleo, can we get a picture? As I'm struggling with a bag. And it's like very embarrassing. It's like very embarrassing. Like never do fans want to take a picture with me while I'm like carrying big ass bags looking like that. I had to make a second trip for the suitcase. I make the second trip for the suitcase. Do it again. Raining outside. Dragging the suitcase. Fans in my face. It was so fucking humiliating. I was like, what the fuck? I get in the car. I'm tight. Like, I'm fake drenched and I'm tight. Like, and the car ride is silence. And I know she peeped why I was mad. It's like she just doesn't give a fuck. So we went to the hotel now. When we pull up to the hotel, she's like, oh, like, telling the security guy what bag she wants taken out the car because we was about to go to the hotel so she could take a shower. But it's like, I perform too. I want to take a shower too. So I'm just like, you the only one that's taking a shower. I'm going to take a shower too. She's like, oh, you got to tell him what bags to take out or he's not going to take it. And I'm just thinking to myself, didn't I just tell this guy to bring my bags to the car? And he said no. So why would I think that he's going to take my bags out because I said so? You know, it's like she just didn't want to speak for me at all. She just wanted to show that you're here alone, bitch. Like, I'm just like, wow. So I come out the car and I'm just telling the bellman because at least there's a bellman here. And
now, maybe Cleo knows her friend better than I do. You know what I'm saying? I can't personally say that Ice Spice wanted you to suffer. I think Ice Spice, from what I've seen of her, she does not seem to be highly aware, right? Even in the text messages between herself and Baby Storm and stuff, like, she pretty much texts the way that she talks, and she talks the way that she raps. So it's not that she gives off like sheer intelligence or like awareness of everything. So I honestly feel like she's kind of moving with a bit of aloofness, right? Especially because she's already been kind of going through this for a couple years now. Like, she hasn't toured massively, but she has done tour dates. She has traveled. She has moved about throughout the world. So at this point, she's somewhat like used to how this goes, but she's not like a veteran in the game where she's like, you know, you get your veterans in hip hop or in music or in any field that are just like really forthcoming with information to prepare you. Like, yo, all right, we about to, you know what I'm saying? A nigga just come to you. All right, you got New York niggas. All right, yo, so boom. It's going to be this, and this. It's going to be like this, and this. Is this what you expect? When niggas come at you like this, say no. When don't let nobody play you. Bang, 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 bang. You know what I'm saying? Bang, bang, bang. How y'all niggas talk? She's not that person. She's kind of like moving around with her head in the clouds. Like, I'm about to go take me a shower. And Cleo like, I bet shit. My ass is sweating too. She like, all right, well, if you want to take you a shower, you know, just tell the security what bag you want. And Cleo like, well, shit, why would I tell that nigga to move my bag when he just told me no at the venue? She's like, well, you know, you just gotta, you know, I don't know. I'm about to go clean my ass. Shit. I think that's how that played out. Like, Ice, she like to smoke. She be high and shit. I think she was just kind of moving about like, I don't know what you finna do, but I'm finna go get in the shower and get cleaned up as we embark on this road to the next city. Get it how you live. It's no offense. It's no hate. It's no nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I understand why Cleo takes it that way, because she like, yo, you're clearly the one that's up. You clearly are the one that's experienced in this at least more than I am. So you should be guiding me through how to get this. You know what I'm saying? You should be, really, she's expecting, you should be holding my hand through this experience, at least through the first few dates, so I can get a grip on how this shit works. Ice Spice is kind of moving like, yo, get in where you fit in. And that's where the distinction begins to come in, where Cleo feels like, all right, are you really my friend or am I an accessory to what you got going on? Right?
What bags to take out because I'm gonna take a shower too. So we go upstairs and it's like after the show, kind of gets like a rush vibes because we're trying to like hurry up and get back on the bus. So we're in the hotel room and I had this feeling in my chest. I don't know if anybody else who's a real ass bitch gets this feeling, and it's just a feeling. And I'm just like, I have to say something because if I don't say something, I'm gonna start moving like I don't like her. So I want to at least say how I feel, get her take on it instead of being angry and just letting it build up frustration in me. So she's in the shower. And I'm like about to take my makeup off so that we can like, I'm not waiting for her to get out the shower to take my makeup off. And it's just delaying us because we're trying to hurry up. So I went to the bathroom, I'm taking my makeup off. And I'm like, yo, you asked me to like take my bag. I mean, not you asked me. I'm like, yo, you told me to take my bags with me to the venue. You said that was, it was smart for me to take my bags and the reason why. And you even told me to tell your security to bring the bags upstairs. So why would it be a problem for him to bring the bags back to the car? And she goes, that's my security. He works for me. If he feels like he's doing more work, he's gonna want to get paid more. So I'm like, how much does he want to get paid more? Because if I'm gonna be with her this whole tour, I will pay him more. I'll pay him more to carry my bags. I don't want to be carrying my bags. I don't. Like, y'all seen all the fans seeing me carry my bags? That was crazy to me. So I'm like, all right, we gotta figure this out. So like, how much you want to get paid more? He's like, he gets paid a flat rate. I'm like, is this girl serious? She said it like she had no idea what flat rate meant. If he gets paid a flat rate, that means that he'll move a house for you. He's getting paid to work for you. He got paid to work for you. He's moving anything you tell him to move. He's moving anything that you tell him to move. So I'm like, girl, I was carrying the bags out. Like, the fans was all in my face. She start making it seem like she understand, like, oh, yeah, that's crazy, da-da-da. But then she goes back to being weird. And she's just like, he can't leave my side. Like, he can't leave me. That's why. Like, girl, what you mean he can't leave you? So now I catch her again. She's just weird. I'm just like, what you mean he can't leave you? We was up there waiting for him to bring all your bags. He left you several times to bring your bags to the car. He left you a lot of times already. She's like, oh, why would I wait for him to bring your bags to the car? I'm like, the conversation was done after that. It was done. I said, okay, I know the type of girl that I'm dealing with. She's very selfish. Why would we just wait for him to bring your bags? What you mean, why would we wait for my bags now? Like, girl, what? I got out the bathroom. That was the end of it. I didn't bring up that situation no more. I charged it to the game. And charging something to the game is normally something you do regarding business. But I thought that this girl was my friend. So I'm like, why would I have to charge something to the game in this situation? Like, this is supposed to be my friend. But gradually I start seeing that she wasn't really my friend. And that was like the beginning of it. Now, what I didn't know, which I later learned after bringing up everything I went through to her, I learned that this situation where I said something about my bags was the reason why I got mistreated the entire tour after that. And I had no idea that she was so tight at me for saying something. Because she's the type of person who doesn't like to be, she doesn't want anything said to her. She feels too big. She feels too highly. She's on her high horse. Nobody can say nothing to her. But that's the type of person I wouldn't want as a friend. Like, I don't want a friend that I can't tell about themselves. Like, I can't tell you about yourself because you're famous. Like, that's sick. It doesn't matter how famous you are. We're still all human beings at the end of the day. And you still could get checked and you still could get told about yourself. Whatever, though. So we went to the next places. Got back to New York. The New York show was like, I was so, like, indecisive if I wanted to continue the tour because of the bag situation. And I'm just like, oh, because I'm not going to have anybody. But me and my managers was working on getting somebody, like, some assistant. Anyways, so, of course, this story is long as fuck because it was 30 days of hell. So, yeah, the New York show, I was real indecisive about, like, continuing the tour. But I have this drive in me where I feel like God wouldn't put me in a situation that I cannot handle. And I felt like he put me in this situation. He gave me this situation, and if I couldn't handle it, he wouldn't have. So, any way that anybody is about to treat me, I will overcome it. I'm going to overcome everything. You are not going to trick me out of my spot. You are not going to make me feel like I'm not supposed to be here. I am moving by the grace of God. And that's just that. I don't care. I don't care. And from that moment forward, I said, on anything that makes me feel uncomfortable or makes me feel unwelcomed. But at the end of this, I'm going to say how I feel. I am going to say how I feel. Because right now in this moment, I feel like I'm on tour with somebody that don't even fuck with me for real. That's not even really my friend. The New York tour, her dressing room was kind of small. I never have a dressing room. You know what was kind of weird? That she said that I was gonna be with her the whole time. Like, I was gonna be with her, you're gonna be with me, you're good. And when I would come inside the venue, her whole tour production team, they would act like they have no idea where I'm supposed to go. Like, did she not tell you guys that I'm supposed to be in her room? They're just like, oh, we don't have a room for you, but here, they'll give me like a bathroom. The bathroom that everybody's using. They'll give me the bathroom and say, well, you can get dressed inside this bathroom right here. And I'm just like, I'm supposed to be in her room though. Like, I'm confused. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just confusing. So,
All right. So at this point, it's been to me, it seems pretty apparent after Cleo has come to Ice Spice voicing her concerns about her bags and about, you know, how to go about handling things backstage to get her things transported, to make sure that she's able to get ready, make sure that she's got everything on hand, right? And making sure that she's not having to physically lug this stuff around herself. Ice Spice has gotten irritated and kind of doesn't want her in her space, right? Which is why at this point she can't be in Ice Spice's dressing room. It was originally understood that she would, but now, you know, production on the tour is like, we don't know where to take you. You can use the bathroom, the shared bathroom that everybody's using, which means that she's literally taking up space in an area that people are consistently going to need to be coming in and out of, because if you're not with the actual artist who may have a bathroom in their own space, everybody is going to be in and out of this thing, right? They're going to be, you know, you can't shit on the tour bus. So yeah, people are going to need to use it for that. You're going to have people consuming water, liquor, beverages, whatever it is back there. They're going to need to use that space. She's got to get ready. Other people may go in there and touch themselves up, freshen up for whatever, you know what I'm saying? So if she's in there the entire time getting makeup and hair and shit together to make sure that she's presentable to go out and on stage and entertain people because she's actually part of the show, she's actually becoming an inconvenience for everybody. Ice Spice don't want her around. And at some point, you would assume other people don't want her around either because she's taking up space. So at this point, I can understand why Cleo is frustrated. I can understand why she's feeling unwelcome and she's feeling like her friend is kind of betraying her in real time, because it's like, yo, this is not the experience that you promised me when you invited me out, right?
they would like show me bathrooms and little corners that I could get ready in, and I'm just like, what? But need I remind you, every time there was a special guest or somebody that Ice wanted to bring out, they was always accommodated. Somehow they was always able to find a room, and they always had a room for themselves. I never had a room. And I was okay with that because I already came on tour knowing that I was going to be with her. But it annoyed me when they would act like they had no idea where I was supposed to be at. That was confusing to me. So the dressing room is small, and I asked her, like, oh, can I get ready inside your room? She's like, come and see the room. I come and see the room, and the room is large enough for us to get ready in it. Like, bro, you invited me on tour, bro. We're supposed to be trying to thug it out and make it work because we're friends and we're girls. Like, hello? So we're getting our makeup done. Our chairs are, like, just back to back, but the room is not, it's not like there's a couch. Her wardrobe is able to fit in it, which is a big-ass wardrobe. All her stuff is able to fit in it. She's good. She's good. And I'm good too. I get to her space. After I'm done dressing up, I get out the room. I do not sit around in the room and shit because she don't even allow niggas to sit in the room. She just give niggas the boot like anytime she feel like it, which was kind of like weird too because like, girl, why I can't just sit in the room and chill? Like, whatever. So, oh yeah, I forgot. That's because she was tight ever since the Philly show when I said something about the luggage. That is why everything was weird afterwards. Now I put my bag, literally a tote, on the side of her couch, and she knows it's mine. Because she knows that's my bag. I put it on the side of the couch. Her mom and her little sister came in the room. So everybody got out the room. Like an hour goes by. I like go downstairs. I walk past the room. I see my bag. Like my Telfar bag outside of her door. And I'm just like, wait, why would they kick this little bag out? Like this little bag was on the side of the couch. Like why would it need to be kicked out the room? But
I'm going to tell you why your shit was put outside. Because she wasn't going to let you back in. As fucked up as it is, as a friend, she was actually somebody. I won't say it was her. Somebody was foreshadowing if the sister and the mom came in the room and it's like, oh, that's Cleo's bag right there. Put that shit outside. When she come around here, she'll see it. She gonna pick that shit up and, you know, figure out where else she can go. But at that point, it's established you are not going to be let back into the room. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is not the behavior that you would expect from somebody that you call a friend. So of course it's going to create emotions, it's going to create reactions, and it's going to create, possibly things for you to hold on to. But as a person removed from the situation, I'm able to kind of sift through it and be like, they had no intention of letting you back in that dressing room. So they went ahead and put your shit out there because eventually you was going to come down there and retrieve it for something. And that was the cue that you was going to have to, whatever else you needed to apply to yourself from that bag, you were going to have to figure out where you could do that. Presumably the bathroom. It's whack, but that's what I've deduced.
It's crazy now, a few days later, and I'm not accusing anybody of nothing. It could have been anybody. You know what I'm saying? It could have been somebody that walked past the door and seen a bag in the front of Ice's door. My card was used. $700 and something was used at one of those designer retail websites like Essence or something. I was so gagged. I was just like, what? But of course, when my bank got my money back, I didn't even make it a thing. But imagine somebody that only had $700 and something in the account. And like, just imagine how other people could react to that. Like, they would be so fucking gagged, bro. I'm just like, whatever. That's crazy. Because why would you kick my bag out? But like I said, I'm not even going to say nothing. She's probably going to argue with me. She's probably going to something. Now, I stayed in New York a couple of days to work on my video shoot. When I came back, everything changed.
Now, I got to pause this again because when you think about this New York date, right, you would think they've been on a tour for a long time. No. The New York dates from Ice Spice's tour were August 7th and 8th. Remember, Cleotrapa's first date on the tour is August 2nd in Philadelphia. So you're telling me, or perhaps her first date would have been August 1st in Jersey. And Philly is where everything went weird. But we're talking about a week into the tour. However you want to deduce it. The first week of the tour is where shit is already starting to fall apart in their friendship. This is where everything is starting to fall apart with their alliance and them being lockstep and them being, buddy. And Cleo's supposed to be accompanying Ice everywhere, which is what she originally sold her on the idea of. Within a week, that entire thing is melting down. So this is the first week. They still have a whole they're going until the 31st. So they got 3 more weeks of this shit. You would think, based on how she's broken this story down, that they at least 2 weeks, 3 weeks into the fucking tour. No, this is the first week, first 5 days. Jesus.
So she told me to take a bunk on her bus because Riot was coming to the back. Riot's coming, so take a bunk on the bus. I was like, okay, girl, I'm not going to cock block. You want to be with your man? Cool, granted. That's what she told me, though. So I'm thinking, when you're done, this is like who knows? The bus ride is mad long. I'm thinking we're going to go back to the hotel.
And let's not gloss over the fact that she just confirmed that Riot is Ice Spice's nigga. So everything has now been completely confirmed, right? The stuff that I've talked about prior, remember, I talked about the little TJ situation where Ice was having a PR relationship with him. He was buying her jewelry and all that stuff. That was in the text thread with Baby Storm. Lil TJ threatened to shoot Riot because she was bringing him around and TJ didn't really know that she was with him. He had slept outside on the couch or something while Ice Spice and Lil TJ slept in the back room during a specific occasion. Riot starts feeling some type of way. Lil TJ says, man, you got me out here buying you jewels. I need you to give me this jewelry back or I'm going to shoot your man. Ice Spice is looking confused, talking about something. I don't know. I don't understand. They gave it to me as a gift. Why should I give it back? Remember, Ice Spice confirmed that all of those texts were real. Then, fast forward to just right before her album drops, 2 weeks before her album drops, she has this PR stunt relationship with Central C. They're hanging out. He's buying her clothes and jewelry. Once again, they're riding around in London. She's in the passenger seat of his whip. They're both posting in their stories leading up to this song. So every time she seems to do a song with a nigga, she does a PR stunt relationship with them while Riot has to sit in the back and endure it. Cleo just confirmed, you want to be in the back with your nigga? Okay, cool. I'm not going to cock block. So all of those things, in my eyes, are now confirmed. Riot, he's getting his royalties. He's getting his bag. But he also is being subjected to some, I hate to say it, but a little bit of cuck activity. You know what I'm saying? He got to watch her act like she fuck with niggas for the bag. Is what it is.
When we get to where we going, like we're gonna be in the same hotel. So when she got out the back room on the bus, we came out together. It was her, Riot, me, and the security. We're walking towards the elevator. We go inside the elevator. And this is something that she could have texted me, because she texted me when she said that he was coming on the bus and for me to take a bunk on the bus. So she goes, in the elevator, "You're not going to get your own room?" I was like, "What?" I didn't know I was getting my own room. I was back confused. I'm like, "Oh, that's what I was trying to understand." And I stopped the elevator door from opening. Girl, why you can't say nothing to nobody? Like, why do you always try to give like an embarrassment kind of vibe? Like, it's not even embarrassing, but it's like, that's the vibe that you make it seem like you try to give all the time. Like, girl, you could have texted me that, "Cleo, make sure you get your own room. This is the hotel we staying at." Like, damn, why we gotta get to the hotel and you telling me you're not gonna get your own room? Like, I could have had the room booked already before we got here, boo. But on top of that, I didn't even know that I was paying for hotel rooms, because they're staying at five-star hotel rooms every place. A label's covering everything. Label. Everything's covered. You know what I'm saying? I'm an independent artist. Why would I come on this tour knowing that I had one day to prepare? Now I'm going to have to pay for 5-star hotels in every city. This is not something that I signed up for.
All right. As I was alluding to earlier, this is the distinction between the friendship and business, right? Because now it's being discovered, okay, the label is not going to front the expenses, because Ice Spice now that Riot has become a part of the situation, she wants to have her personal time with her guy, which means you can no longer sleep in the back room on a tour bus with Ice. You can no longer sleep in Ice Spice's hotel room no more, because she's seeking privacy with her guy. So now, all of a sudden, the bait and switch once again, you've got to pay for your own room. You need to get your own space now. Okay, I'll get a room. No. You literally have to pay for your own room, because you're not with us, right? Now it's kind of like you're not with us. Ice Spice's room is paid for. The label is taking care of that. Unfortunately, you're not signed to 10K nor Capital. So now they're saying, you're not a part of the budget. You were sleeping in Ice Spice's room, so you were taking care of whatever comes up on her itinerary. If you're included in that, cool, because it's on her behalf. But as you go about on your own, these expenses are now yours, right? So again, but these are not the conversations that Ice Spice is having with her to break it down, to let her know that this is coming, because this could have easily been a conversation where she says, "Yo, at this point in the tour, me and Riot are going to be spending a lot of time together. We're going to need some privacy. So, you might want to put some money to the side, to book hotels. If you want to stay in the same hotel with us, this is the ballpark of what it's going to cost you. Or you could probably see what else is in the area that's going to be a little bit more affordable for you. If you need to kind of go up the block, around the corner, whatever. That's cool for your ballpark, because you are an independent artist. I totally understand. I'm going to still keep you in the loop of, when we load on for the bus, when we get together, if we're going to get food. You know what I'm saying? All types of shit like that. It's just communication. But this is the communication that's not happening. So everything is being sprung up on Cleo as Ice Spice basically changes, her, her feelings change. Like, I want to be with Riot, so you got to get the fuck on. I want to go do this. You can't come. And she like, damn, where this coming from? Like, you promised me that I was going to be good. That's why I accepted the tour. Otherwise, I probably would have declined, because I wasn't prepared. Love changes, a thug changes, and best friends become strangers. Word up.
This is not something that I was prepared for. This is not something that I told my label about. Maybe they could have, not even maybe, they would have helped me. They would have helped me, but you gave me one single day to prepare for a tour that you knew about months ago. That's so crazy to me. But we know why now. We know now that you added me to the tour simply because you wanted to damage control. The situation with Baby Stormy was making you look crazy. You thought to yourself, and this is things that I realized after the fact. I told y'all, I really thought that she was trying to make it up, but it wasn't a makeup matter. It was her trying to clean up everything that was going on with her, and let's add Cleo to the tour so people think that I'm a good friend. So people think that I give opportunities to her and I'm nice and I'm good. Her hairstylist end up saying, like, you should stay. You got your fans coming out. You already promoted it yourself. Like, your fans is coming to see you. Do it for your fans. She put that battery in my back to really, like, I had to get my head back on the swivel. Like, yo, like, make this situation what you can make it and just ignore everything else. Fuck it. And at the end of this, you will address her and you will tell her how this situation made you feel. And if she doesn't care, that was never your friend. Some people don't even know what, and like, they don't know how they're making you feel until you tell them. But if she doesn't care, she was never your friend. So I end up staying with the hairstylist. She let me stay inside her hotel room. Every city that we went to, I stayed with her, and she was mad nice, and it was so fun with her. Like, it really just gave, like, it was just fun. Like, it felt like how it was supposed to be with Ice, but she's fucking boring. Like, she's boring. She doesn't want to do anything. She doesn't even want to play Uno. She doesn't want to do anything. The bus rides be bad, boring. It just be boring. So, like, being with her hairstylist really showed me, like, the fun side of the tour. And she even said it herself, like, yeah, you made this tour so, like, easy going. Like, you just made it fun. And I'm glad that she felt that way because she made that for me, too. And thank you, girl. Now, moving forward, this is when it starts to really feel like mistreatment and just weird stuff. So the hairstylist shows me like a menu and stuff. She's like, oh, production and whatever, they're gonna order food for everybody, pick what you want. I was like, okay, I'll get a chicken salad just like you. Like, I'll just get a chicken salad. Then she shows me like a message where somebody from production is like, Cleo is not a part of the budget. So I'm just like, how am I not a part of the budget but y'all invited me on tour? Like, who and why didn't they tell you? And why didn't they tell you that make sure Cleo's good? Make sure Cleo's good. Cleo.
That was never communicated because unfortunately, that's not how it works. As an artist with management, with a label, if you had a label and you say you would have told your label about this if you had more time, you probably should have got on the phone with your label immediately once Ice Spice got to you. Now, I'm not going to place the brunt of the blame on you because you're the recipient to an invitation that honestly, you didn't even have time. Even if you would have called your label, it would have took time for them to get the proper funding to put behind you. But there still is a level of you should have told your label, right? You should have done what you could to get to the label for them to give you the assistance that you need, even if they had to do it incrementally. Unfortunately, you could have, I don't know, you know what I mean? Because you only had a day, right? And I've seen some people that work in the industry that are kind of criticizing Cleo for this and basically saying that you were able to surpass a lot of steps that artists have in front of them to get this opportunity to tour with a major act like an Ice Spice. And there's a lot of people that don't get the benefit of being able to sleep in the main artist's hotel, tour bus. Most artists are, tasked with the ability to either drive their personal car or have to rent out a Sprinter van, which is expensive. They're basically saying that you don't understand the expenses that go into, the daily filling of the gas for the tour bus that you were actually on. All of these things are actually right and correct. But at the same token, you're being invited by somebody you think is your friend, somebody that assured you from the jump that you were going to be good, that you were going to be taken care of. But then within the first week or so of this tour, you discover that you're not going to be taken care of. So I understand why she's surprised, but I do think that she could have done, and her team, whomever that team is, could have done a better job of taking some responsibility for, okay, if we accept this opportunity, this is what we need to do for Cleo. We need to make sure that Cleo is taken care of because Cleo is our artist. Cleo is our responsibility. She's not signed to Capitol Records. Therefore, Capitol Records is not going to exhaust funding on an artist that doesn't actually yield any returns for their label. This is the business side of it, though. And this is the business side that was never discussed between any of the parties, at least to my knowledge up to this point. But again, Ice Spice's manager has come out and said some things which we're going to get to. So just bear with me, y'all.
Who is a part of the budget. Make sure Cleo's good. The same way you told me that I was gonna be good. Why is your production saying that I'm not a part of the budget for a chicken salad? Chicken salad? I'm not a part of the budget for a chicken salad? Y'all could have bought that chicken salad and literally got the money from my manager or me. But y'all wanted to show me so bad that I can't get nothing and that nobody is here for me that I couldn't even get a chicken salad. I gagged. I was like, wow, this shit is corny. I ain't saying nothing. No, remember I said I wasn't saying anything about anything. I was just gonna take everything in and whatever. So my manager ends up getting me an assistant to come on tour with me, somebody to help. They met me in Chicago. So now the Chicago show was lit as fuck. It was so fun. I love Chicago. But yeah, she came, she helped me, whatever. And the only reason why she even came in the first place was because she was told that she was going to be able to go on Riot's bus. And then at the end of the show, she was told that Riot said you can't come on his bus. And she was just so confused because that's the reason why she came all the way to Chicago in the first place. And Riot is not even on his own bus. He's on the bus with Ice. So it was just so mind-boggling, you know? And he probably didn't even say that. They probably just didn't even want me to have anybody. And that was the vibe that I was starting to get, that they actually do want me to struggle. They want me to struggle a little bit. They want to see if I'm gonna stay. It's like they want to put this pressure on me. And let me tell you, the devil will not win, boo. He will not win. He will not win. He will not win. He was starting to get to me, but he didn't win. Sent her all the way back to New York. And I was left again with nobody. I got a little piece of help, and then I was done for. Now we're in Texas. We're in between Texas and Mexico. What do you guys think of when y'all think Texas, between Texas and Mexico? Desert, tumbleweeds, nothing for miles. No Uber Eats, no Uber 2 Eats, and there's nothing. We're at a Best Western or whatever one of those hotels are. We're in the middle of nowhere. That's how you know, because we're at one of those Best Western hotels. And, yeah, no food. There's a McDonald's all the way down the block, 8-minute walk, probably gonna get bit by scorpions and all sorts of other bugs while walking through the desert to McDonald's. So,
hey man, I hate that you made an 8-minute walk sound like y'all was finna get fucked up real bad, man. This is where a little bit starts to fall on the onus of Cleo. Now I understand you're in a place that you're not from. You're not from, wherever this land is between, I'm guessing you mean New Mexico and Texas, but maybe you're talking about Mexico and Texas. And you ain't from around there. You're in the Best Western, and it's an 8-minute walk to get to the nearest McDonald's. I'd have took that motherfucking walk. You know what I'm saying? 8 minutes. So you mean to tell me I could be there, get my food, and walk back within a matter of 20 minutes, and I could be good to go? I would have made that move. I would have made that move as soon as possible, just so I wasn't fucking up the plan for today for whenever the bus needed to take off. I would have made sure that I got my food and did what I needed to do. That's just me. I've had to do my own individual, I wouldn't say touring, but I've had to move about and get on motherfucking Megabus, Greyhounds, and move about, you know what I'm saying, from Atlanta to motherfucking to Charlotte, from Atlanta to Memphis, to motherfucking Nashville, to DC, to Baltimore. I had to do the same shit. I didn't use the Megabus. I flew. I had to do the same shit when I had to go to New York to do the Hot 97 shit. You know what I'm saying? I move about solo dolo. I've kind of, had to tread the game. So if you haven't really been through those stages and know, all right, I need to make sure I'm up. You're gonna have to probably get up earlier than what you're accustomed to doing. You know what I'm saying? And make sure if this motherfucking tour bus is taking off at this time, I need to have my bags and my ass seated ready. This ain't my shit. This ain't my ship. Therefore, I can't dictate nothing that's going on. You know what I'm saying? So there is a certain level of fall in line that you need to have. But again, she's still got these rose-colored eyelids going on because she's thinking, my friend. But by the time y'all made it to motherfucking Houston, or not Houston, but that intersection between Mexico and Texas, that is, y'all did Dallas August 25th. So at this point, y'all have been on the road approximately 3 weeks. You and Ice Spice ain't been rocking since the first week. So that gives you 2 weeks where you should have, kind of gotten a lay of the land that is, I'm out for dolo. I got to make sure I'm taken care of. All right. At a certain point, you got to pick up on game.
Me and her hairstylist were in the hotel. We just sleeping and stuff. It's 2 o'clock. We get up around 5 or 6. I call Ice. I'm getting ready and shit. Me and her hairstylist about to make videos or whatever. I call. I'm like, oh, let's make TikToks. She's like with that soulless demon face, just you're with my hairstylist, so like, damn, my bad. It was really seeming like she didn't really want me to be friends with her hairstylist, but it's like, damn, bitch, I don't got no friends. So I'm gonna make friends with bitches that actually want to be my friend. I'm sorry. I hung up on her after that because it was just like, ew, like, all right, I'm with your hairstylist, so what that mean? Like, oh, like, I can't, like, I'm not ready, obviously. Like, it was just the attitude around it that was just so weird and corny to me. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Went downstairs, and I seen her in the lobby, and her and some other boy, one of my friends, is just standing there, you know, with a basketball. I'm like, oh, what y'all just did? Oh, we was playing basketball, whatever, whatever. Nobody said anything about eating. Nobody. I'm like, me and the hairstylist keep talking about food. We like, oh damn, we mad hungry. Like, we mad hungry just like McDonald's. Nobody said anything about food while me and her are talking about how hungry we are. Now we go to the boy bus, tour bus, and we just sitting on the bus. We just like, yo, like, is somebody coming with us to McDonald's? Like, nobody want to walk there by themselves. We fake want to meet with us. They like, oh, that's mad far. Like, nah, like, where this desert is scary. I don't know. I'm like, okay. Nobody said anything about food still. Come to find out, everybody ate. Can you believe that? Everybody ate. Guess what? They all went to a steakhouse. Everybody went to a steakhouse and left me, the hairstylist, and the makeup artist. Everybody went to go get a bite. Steak, mash, cream corn, spinach. And we didn't have anything. We didn't eat at all. We're trying to figure out how to get a McDonald's. And y'all all ate already? Nobody mentioned it. You know why nobody mentioned it? Because it was a secret. It was a secret and I gagged. One of the things that I have to charge to the game, I guess. I'm like, what? They said, don't say anything. We don't want to make it a problem. All right, I'm not going to say anything. One of the things I'm just going to have to bring up when I'm ready to leave. And that's another thing that I later realized when I reflected on everything, that this girl was really mad at me for saying something about that luggage, bro. She was so mad at me for saying something. Like, she don't want nobody say nothing to her. Like, she tried to low-key torture me. Like, she was trying to low-key do it. Like, she wasn't trying to do it too much, but she was trying to still, like, show me, like, yeah. And I'm just like, I didn't even know that until I brought all of this up to her. And she showed me that she didn't give a fuck. Girl, fuck you. I was like, oh my God, just went on tour with somebody that hates my guts. Wow. So for you guys that don't know how a tour bus looks, it looks like a slave ship. Very similar to a slave ship.
Hey, we're going to have to cut that out. A slave ship? Why are we comparing anything to a slave ship? That's out of pocket. That is out of pocket. A slave ship. Now, we're talking about a tour bus here. Like, it's got bunks on it. It's got a bathroom. It's got a master bedroom for the artist. It's narrow. But why a slave ship? That part I'm just not understanding, right? And I gotta give Worldwide Hef. He's one of the niggas. I respect the fuck out of Worldwide Hef, by the way. I think he co-manages Earth Gang JID. And you know, the guys over there, the Atlanta niggas that signed to Dreamville. Let's just go ahead and put them in one lump, right? So he put up a photo that shows, you know, an alleged slave ship, I'm just going to say alleged, versus a tour bus. Worldwide Hef, you a wild boy. But I understand. We're just going to put it up on the screen. We ain't going to stay too long on this. But this is the comparison that we're dealing with here. So he says, I just want y'all to know, in modern society, we allow people to compare a slave ship to a tour bus. He is dazed and confused. We're going to leave this up on the screen for a couple seconds because we must address this because she took it a little bit too far with that. But that the environment ain't the same. It's narrowed in a bitch, but it's only so many people that's on that motherfucker. She ain't say that it was filled with niggas. You know what I'm saying? It's her, Ice Spice in the back of that bit, and perhaps maybe a couple assistants that's on there too. All right, y'all.
3 bunks stacked up on top of each other very tightly on each side. Some may have more, but this bus that we was on had 3. And then she has her big room in the back, which I was staying at for the first couple of days until I blew things by saying something about my bag. As an artist, why the hell would I want to leave the venue carrying my bags? We'll never know why she wanted me to look so crazy. We'll never know. Actually, we do know. But yeah. So that's how the bus looks. And while we were in New Orleans, there was another situation where we was on the bus from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Me and the makeup artist, me and the hairstylist, but all of us, we were told to get on the bus because at this point, Ice doesn't even communicate with me anymore, by the way. She like slowly, gradually stopped talking to me. And that's because I think like she realized that I was like getting cool with the people that worked for her. So now it's like she's kind of like treating me like a worker. But I was so confused. Like, you're not being my friend, so I'm going to make more friends. Like, girl, it's like she wanted me to be miserable and alone, and it just didn't happen because that's not what God had planned for me, boo. So they was told to get on the bus at 9, and nobody tells me anything, so I'm just doing what they said. I don't get no text messages. Like I said, she doesn't tell me nothing. So I get on the bus at 9 a.m. because that's what her manager told them. Her manager doesn't even text me. That's how much I don't get anything told to me. So she was literally the one that was supposed to be talking to me. So I get on the bus at 9, wake up at 2, and we're in the same place. So you can think about it. We're on a slave ship, right? From 9 to 2 p.m. in the same place, thinking that we're moving and that by the time we wake up, we won't even be there anymore. So to find out we're in the same place, it's so crazy. My legs are cramping now. Like, I'm just so confused. Like, niggas is treating us like fucking luggage for real. Like, yeah, let's just throw the luggage on the bus. Like, girl, what? We're humans. Can you tell us that you're not leaving right now? When somebody asks, like, why didn't we leave yet? Because Ice didn't feel like leaving yet. And I'm just like, bro, this is so crazy. I texted her. I was like, hey, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm on the way. I'm like, bro, what? You could have been told niggas not to get on the bus because you're not leaving yet. Y'all go and do something. Y'all walk around or look around and just travel around or whatever because we're not leaving yet. But instead you let us sit up in that tour bus for that long, girl. And you didn't even give a fuck when I told you about any of this. And that shit is what really hurts the most, how much she didn't give a fuck. So I'm actually glad that I didn't say anything during the tour. Let me tell y'all something. The type of person that I am, bro.
I also want to know if they were on the bus from 9 to 2, that's 5 hours. Nowhere in that 5 hours did y'all feel the bus crank up. You didn't feel or hear road motion or nothing. So y'all must have went straight to sleep as soon as y'all boarded the bus. Like, we finna take off. Y'all went right to sleep. And then woke up and found out that y'all hadn't moved. Which I guess is possible. But this is where certain parts of the story I'm starting to look like, I was with you for the first 6-7 innings. Now that we getting to the wire at the end of the game, I'm not saying that I don't believe you, because I do. I'm also not saying that you don't deserve support and that you were misled. You absolutely were. But some of the grievances that are coming up are just not aligning with, I don't know, common sense. But I don't want that to negate the fact that I think the majority of what she's saying is mostly right. At least from her perspective. As somebody sitting in her seat, I understand why she would feel that way.
If I say how I feel, this is how the situation in Philly made me feel, and I see that you don't give a fuck, that starts to turn me. So I didn't want to be turned so bad that I spaz on her. I swing on her. I'm locked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even want that to come out of this at all. Because the way she goes back and forth and the way she's ready to argue, that's somebody that knows that they got people behind her. Because that mouth would not be running like that 2 years ago. I'll tell you that much. I was going to leave after we was left in the desert and they went to the steakhouse behind our backs. I was going to leave after that. But I'm like, you know what? Let me do the Dallas and Houston show. Let me bring my girl Asian out. Let me make the best out of this situation once again. And that was going to be it. My mom, she wasn't able to make it to the New York show. She comes to Atlanta. She's like how she's coming to Atlanta because it was my aunt's 70th birthday. And she wanted to see me. So I'm like, damn, I got to do the Atlanta show just for her. Love you, mommy. Now we're going to get into the dispute that ended everything. So I addressed everything to her. I should actually show how I addressed it, because although it was very long, I want you guys to also keep in mind how so close friendships and relationships feel. Like, the breakup feels the same. The way you express yourself, it can kind of feel the same. As like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is very similar. So when I was explaining everything that I went through, it was a long ass paragraph. And like, I was talking to my nigga. Like, I was breaking everything down because I want you to know exactly how I feel and how it made me feel. Exactly what I went through and how it made me feel. I want you to understand it. And I also want you to put yourself in my shoes and ask yourself if you would even go through that. You know what I'm saying? Because people fail to realize that she skipped a very important part in her career, which was the grind. She barely had to do that. And that's okay. Some people are lucky.
See, again, this is true. Ice Spice did skip a lot of steps. She blew up extremely fast to where she didn't have to, move about on her own accord and build from the ground up. Her first official show, she was, in front of a big crowd of motherfuckers with a semi-hit song, viral song. You know what I mean? So a lot of things were expedited in her case. However, I must say, Cleo, although you've played the back, to Ice Spice for the last 2 years, it kind of feels like she tried to expedite your situation. And I'm not saying that she did a good job of doing it, but there's a lot of artists that would have loved to have taken your spot. All of the discrepancies and all, there's a lot of artists that would have been, one, either more prepared, or two, less prepared and said, fuck it, I'm going to take the opportunity to open up for Ice Spice. I don't enjoy her music, right? But I cannot deny that for the last 2 years, Ice Spice has been a huge buzzing artist, right? She's had a lot of grand opportunities. She's been plastered in front of us as a superstar. She's not a superstar, but that's how she's been marketed. And the opportunity to open up in whatever capacity that you were able to open up, if you would have declined that, there would have been a long line of artists just from your city alone that would have loved to have had that position, right? I'm not trying to make you, I'm not undermining your story or your experience, because I think all of that is valid. But I think at a certain point, when you start saying that she got to skip steps, she offered you an opportunity due to whatever connection and friendship that y'all understood that y'all had, that you were going to also skip some steps that other artists in your locale would not or were not going to get. But you had the friendship, so you were able to do it. And I just think everybody should be self-aware about the privileges that are being bestowed upon to them, even if it is coded in hard work, even if it is coded in, I got to shovel shit for a little bit. There's a lot of independent artists that have never and or never will have the opportunity that you were just given back in August. I got to be honest about that part.
People are lucky, and we're going to call it luck. We're not going to call it her being blessed, because I don't think the Lord will bless somebody like her. Her soul it doesn't belong to the person above. She is very dark and very soulless. And I've never been around this girl for more than 10 hours. Anytime I hung out with her, it was something very small, a small gathering, a small event. It was video shoots, you know what I'm saying? It never was chilling in the crib, face not done, chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like, on some real friendship. That's why I kind of got annoyed when a lot of people thought he was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, oh, but it was like, we were still cool. Like, that was still my girl, bro. So it was just her energy. I got to witness this very firsthand. I was around her every day, 24/7. I mean, not all the time, because she would go straight to the back into that room. And when I would see her, like at the venue and whatever, because after the Philly situation, I barely saw her. She was dark. She just, oh my God, like, it's even scary to talk about. Like, bro, that girl, she needs to be saved. Like, I don't know if she was always like that, if it's Hollywood, but Hollywood never changed me. Like, Hollywood never changed me. But Nikki was very, very correct when she said, ain't no friends in the game. Ain't no friends in the game. But me thinking like, oh, like, I was cool with Ice, like, before all of this, da-da-da-da. I didn't think, like, she was going to be a weirdo over time. Like, that shit was crazy. So when I told her about everything, she literally turned around. Like, when I say everything, I told her everything. I'm going to put it in a screenshot. Honestly, it felt like it could have been a miscommunication here. She winds up telling me that she told her manager, basically after the Philly situation, she told her manager to tell my manager that I'm going to need to get my own room. What I was confused on is that I told you how I felt in Philly, but you couldn't tell me how you felt in Philly. And that's why we weren't really friends. That's how I realized that we weren't really friends, because you can't even speak up to me, but had the audacity to say that I didn't say any of those stuff to you because I'm scared of you. Why would I be scared of you? I didn't want to punch you. I didn't want to say all those stuff above and then you completely ignore it, because that's what you did when I mentioned the stuff that happened in Philly. You ignored it. Like, you did not care. So, with that being said, if I was to explain everything like how I explained it, you would literally not care at all.
All right, so that is the saga of Cleotrapa and Ice Spice fallout after 30 days of tour. By the time they had 7 days of tour, the friendship was already deteriorating. By they got to 2 weeks, the friendship was pretty much over, and they basically had to go the remaining 2 weeks kind of as separate entities. And it looks like Ice Spice told her manager that she needed to get her own shit. However, or Ice Spice had her manager communicate to Cleo's manager she needed to get her own shit. However, Ice Spice never personally relayed that information to Cleo, and it also seems that Cleo's manager never relayed that information to her that she was going to need to get her own shit either. So I see there seems to be a trend here with lack of communication. And who is your manager, Cleo? Because they should have told you immediately if there was any rumblings from Ice Spice and or her team that they were unsatisfied with you, or that you were taking up space, or that you were, you know what I mean, whatever the case may be, whatever they voiced. Why were you unaware of that for the next few weeks? This seems to be a problem. I'm not blaming you for it, but I'm just seeing the lack, the overall lack in this situation, which is where all of this animosity is stemming from. Okay? Now, Ice Spice went on Spaces and decided that she wanted to come out and tell her side of the story, which is very much shorter than what we received from Cleo. So, if you're here, we ain't gonna be here too much longer.
Y'all putting laughing faces. Y'all know this is not funny. Crashing out is sad, you guys. Like, the scary part of fame, honestly, is the moment that somebody feels like they can no longer use your platform, or like they're not getting exactly what they want out of a situation the way that they want it. You know what I mean? It's like that's when they decide to crash out every single time. Like, I'm noticing a pattern, bro. And the shit is sad because I genuinely was trying to help her. Like, I'm like, yo, do you want to just come on this tour? You know what I'm saying? Like, you could just like join. Like, mad last minute type shit. What had actually happened is that we added another tour bus. So I'm like, now we have extra room. We have extra bunks. So I'm like, oh, let me see if Cleo wants to come. Feel me? So she could do like her songs and stuff like that. But that's what the fuck I get for trying to be a good person. It's whatever, bro. Honestly, like, that's not gonna stop me from still trying to be a good person. Like, I'm gonna always help the next person out. Like, and that's really my fault for real, because whatever though. But to say like just to leave out so many details is crazy. Like, how you not gonna tell the people, bitch, we was on them rides at the theme park screaming our vocal cords out, like to the point where the next day it was hard to perform. Like, bitch, we was having fun. So for you to try to sit here and complain about a chicken salad, it's like you never came to me talking about a chicken salad. What are you really talking about right now? You gonna send me a whole essay after tour? Like, you just gonna get off the bus? I don't even know you got off the bus. And you gonna send me an essay with a intro, bodies, and a conclusion, like, and you want me to try to like analyze this shit?
Oh shit, Ice Spice. Oh wow. You do got hands to clap back. That's crazy. You go position you go You send me an essay with an intro, body, conclusion. Oh wow. Yeah, she on her shit, man. She on her shit. I'm not co-signing what she's saying, but the fact that she's taking this route in response, I'm honestly kind of impressed, cuz y'all know I wasn't convinced that Ice was really up to speed. But damn.
And figure out how I'm wrong when all I did was share my stage with you when I ain't even have to do that. You got less than 10,000 listeners and I'm sharing my stage with you and you feeling so entitled, like you thinking that my peoples that work for me is supposed to work for you too? Like that's so crazy to me. Like how I'm in the shower, you gon' barge in while I'm butt ass naked trying to press me about some bags that you got to carry some bags. What? Like nah, that's that shit, bro, but that's all I could do, y'all.
I don't like how you try to position that. I don't like that. That was her opportunity to have you in private and bring it to you. When else was she gonna have like a completely private moment with you where she could voice her grievances about the situation and you didn't receive it well. So what made you think that she was gonna keep continuing to try to communicate with you throughout the tour with her grievances if she noticed that your entire demeanor towards her changed after that? So I kind of understand why she reached out to you after it was all over. But I also understand why Ice Spice would feel like, okay, so you use the entire 30 days to get your shit off, get your money, get your, you know what I mean, your cross promotion in, whatever you could get, share my stage. But then all of a sudden you want to hit me up after all of the fruits of the labor have been administered. Now you want to tell me what you want. Tell me what you need. Tell me if it ain't good enough for you, baby. Tell me. So I understand where both of them are coming from. I think Ice Spice, she did admit that things were her fault, but she didn't go into detail as to what her fault is. It was your fault that you did not explain to this young lady how this shit was gonna go, how it was gonna play out, what she really needed. You didn't explain, you know, if you really think that we're gonna be like locked in the way that you would expect, you think we're gonna be locked in the way that we are in the city. It's not finna be like that. You know what I mean? Why was that not shared? I don't like that. I'm gonna let you say your shit because I'm gonna try to get out of here as quick as possible. But I don't like that shit.
All I could do is sigh about it because it's just like, what can you do, bro? It's like, damn. Crash outs and they going on rants, bro. Crash outs and they going on rants. But fuck it though. At the end of the day, it's whatever, bro. Like this shit comes with it, like y'all see clearly this will come with it, bro, right? So fuck it. But the whole thing that's blowing me right now is like talking about some dark energy, trying to compare a tour bus to a slave ship. Like, what are you talking about right now? What? That is crazy to me, bro. That's so crazy to me. Like, you really gonna be friends with somebody for 2 years, but the whole time you feel like they soulless and dark? Like, you sound dumb as hell, bitch. If anything, we both need saving. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like we was dead ass we was at the movie theaters. We was siphon. Bitch, you not gonna tell the people how we was at an Italian restaurant and you ate so much fucking food, you fucking vacuum, that the server was like, where did the food go? Like, stop it right now. You talking about some, she ain't let me to the back of her room on her tour bus. She had this big ass room. Bitch, can I play with my pussy one time? In my bed one time? Like, damn, you want to sleep in my bed every day? That's crazy to me. Anyways, yeah, I'm about to actually go to sleep for real this time, but I'm about to announce the Europe tour dates because for me the shit go on, bro. Regardless, the shit is still gonna go on. That's the gag. So tomorrow I will most likely be.
Yo, Ice Spice crazy as shit, yo. Ice Spice crazy as shit. You trying to play with your coochie? Like I get it, but come on, dog. Don't do it like that. Like she was impeding on coochie time. Like damn, come on. That's crazy. Now, I did say comparing the tour bus to the slave ship was wild. I do think some of what Cleo was saying did kind of seem a bit overzealous. But I still place the brunt of the blame on Ice Spice for lack of communication, for lack of giving her the rundown of what was to come, etc. But before we go, let's get into James Roseman Jr., who is Ice Spice's manager. And his perspective of the situation. So number one, somebody jumps in his mentions and says, wait, but y'all gave 1 day to prepare. James Roseman, aka Ice Spice's manager, says, we gave her opportunity to showcase her talent to an all-age crowd. She could have said something in the lines of, hey, this is last minute invite, and I won't come out the next show day, but I start on this later tour date so our teams can handle logistics and I can be prepared for it. James, cut the shit, bro. Let's be honest. If y'all brought this opportunity to her and she gave y'all pushback of any sort, you were probably going to throw it in her face and say, you know how many artists would love to get this spot? We're going to fill your spot and we'll catch you on the next go round. And then when the next go round came around, she probably wouldn't got booked for that too. Let's be honest about how this stuff really goes in the industry. You have a very small, short window of opportunity to really seize the moments, because if you pass those moments up, you may not get them again. Now, some artists always are going to be, in the conversation. There's always going to be a 360, it comes back around moment based on their talent, based on their hustle, their work ethic, their wherewithal. Some people you can never count out, but some artists are just not long game artists. I don't know if Cleotrapa is a long game artist, right? So by the time y'all doubled back to do another tour, another album and everything, who's to say that y'all was going to be locked in like that to give her this opportunity? She was trying to seize it while she had the chance. Now, of course, while taking that chance, knowing you're unprepared, that could be seen as irresponsible. However, your artist told her, you're going to be good. We will take care of you. And when she got on the road with y'all, that turned out to be a lie. We're not going to gloss over that fact just because y'all are the upper hand in the position. That was a lie. We've got New York artist Capella Gray, who's also, basically moonlighting as a songwriter for Chris Brown at this point. He comes out and talks about his tour experience. He says, I got invited to tour and paid for the bus, my own hotels for me and the gang, all the food, all that. The opportunity was in being able to be on a tour and showcase my music as an upcoming artist that couldn't fill those types of venues yet. Grateful. All the industry people quiet right now, basically saying a lot of people in the industry, they're hearing this chatter, they're seeing this stuff go viral right now, but a lot of people are choosing not to speak on it because if they really come out and tell the truth, it's going to make Cleotrapa look bad. That's Capella Gray. James Roseman, Ice Spice's manager, comes out, co-signs it, and says some artists get it, some artists don't. Basically saying I agree completely with Capella, and she basically fucked up her opportunity, and she fucked up her relationship with the Golden Goose, in so many words. Okay. Someone else comes out and says, former CAA touring agent here. James and his team are 1000% in the right. Now, CAA is an agency that books artists and also entertainers of all sorts, right? They say, as an artist, it is understood you pay your own expenses unless you are contractually offered to have them paid for. And I've never heard of a headliner covering all an opener's expenses. That's crazy. James comes in, co-signs that. He says, if another bigger artist hit my client and say, come on tour with her or him with 1 day to be prepared, as the manager, I would advise my client this is risky. I would then connect with the other artist management and agent immediately to advance logistics to see if this makes sense to avoid hiccups. Again, I feel like he's covering his ass and covering Ice's ass to give us industry standard mumbo jumbo, which he's not lying about. However, we saw how this played out, right? And again, I understand both sides of the fence, both sides of the coin, but to put it out there and basically say she's unprofessional, she don't know her way around, y'all knew that when y'all offered it to her. Next up, we get somebody that jumps in his mentions once again, and this person says, this is insane to me because the girl literally asked what was needed from her and was told nothing. She would have been more than ready to have her team and pay expenses, but Ice literally told her that she'd be paid for, and then in the multiple times she asked if she should pay or whatever, basically, Ice told her you were good. James jumps back in. He says, two artists can't speak on logistics and business and agree on it same day without proper representation thoroughly talking through. Management needed to properly advise their client and get ahead of any potential hiccups. I'm not allowing my client to go on the road without me advancing it. James, you're full of shit, brother. You're giving us the ideal. The ideal is, hey, if somebody comes to me at the last day, I'm going to make sure that this, and this is taken care of, or we're going to have to say no. Yeah, that's how it works. So why did y'all bring it to this girl who's an independent artist, no label or small label support? Y'all give her this opportunity with limited time. She got limited funds and resources. Your artist gave her the word, whether you co-signed that word or not. Your artist gave her said word that she was going to be good, and it turned out that she was not good. Accept the fault on that end. Accept the fault that your artist maybe didn't communicate with you and the label enough to make sure that this was taking place. Maybe y'all should have stepped in and said, yo, why did you tell this girl that she was going to be good? That shit is not the truth. That's not how this shit finna go down. Why did y'all not have no type of powwow while y'all was on this tour to tell Cleo exactly, hey, let's have a meetup after this date. We're gonna have lunch in the lobby of this hotel or wherever we need to go, private, in a hotel room, fuck it, anywhere, to break down, I'm sorry Ice Spice told you this, but that's not how this works. This is how the tour is going to go from here on out. If you would like to pull out, it's no hard feelings, or you can get your resources together, call your team, call your mama, call whoever you need that's going to help you get through the rest of this tour. Call up fucking Beat Bread. Call up fucking Royalty Exchange. Call up goddamn, it's plenty of resources out there for an artist like Cleotrapa who has a minimum of 10,000 streams per month that would have fronted her some money, at least if they didn't pay the whole thing. They would have fronted her some money so that she could have gone on this tour, so that she could have solidified this opportunity and not had to come so much out of her own pocket. Had y'all gave her at least a minimum of 14 to 21 days, her and her team could have got this shit expedited in that time period. Nah, y'all waited to the last fucking day when Ice Spice is finna go to goddamn Jersey, and then y'all want to make it seem like she did something wrong. That I don't support. I don't think it's cool. Y'all niggas lame. All right? That's where I stand on the situation. Y'all niggas dead ass motherfucking wrong. And in some instances, Cleo also is wrong. The fact that she didn't pick up on the energy, she didn't pick up on the vibes, she didn't start understanding, all right, they really not fucking with me. Let me go out for self. Let me turn this into the best situation I possibly can and distance myself, but still, keep it funky with when it comes to the stage presence and shit. If I ain't got nowhere to go, I'll change in the public fucking restroom. I ain't got to be in the backstage restroom. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, you do got to put your fuck it on in order to survive. But again, she was looking at this shit from the perspective, at least what she told us, from the lens of a friend. But at a certain point, your friend showed you that y'all really wasn't friends. So I do got to put some of that onus on you as well, that you saw what was going on, but you weren't acting on what was going on. All around, this is an unfortunate situation. But I guess we won't see this shit happen ever again because shit went that bad. And she clowning you on socials. Now, Baby Storm came out. And Baby Storm basically jumped in Cleo's mentions and said, hey, I tried to warn your ass about this before. Right? And she pulled up Cleotrapa's tweet to her from May 12th of this year where she threatened to beat her the fuck down. Cleo, when Baby Storm initially came out with her story about Cleo, about Riot, about the Nicki situation, etc., Cleotrapa said, you so mad and bothered. It's a key at this point. Don't ever let me see you, boo, because you need one conch on your head. So Cleo wanted to beat Baby Storm the fuck down when her story originally came out. Baby Storm says, I tried to warn you and you just threatened to beat me up. Nevertheless, I'm sorry that happened to you. Cleotrapa then responds to her and says, oh, I threatened to beat you up because you was doing all that because you was mad at Ice. It didn't give you had any respect for me, boo. You really could have DM'd me from the jump with that whole situation if you was on some real bitch shit, word, but thank you. So Cleo is still not accepting accountability that somebody tried to warn you what was going on, and instead of just taking it in stride, you threatened to beat her the fuck up. All of y'all are in the wrong. The young lady Relly G's came out and she says, I tried to warn y'all about Ice Spice as well. If y'all remember the Relly G's video that I did about a month and some change ago, she came out and claimed that Ice Spice was still in her vibe, still in her style, still in her looks. You know, she said she looked out for her and supported Ice Spice, you know, when Ice was just a local artist and Relly was a little bit more popular than her at the time. She says, hey, when I was the one that was more popular, I supported Ice. I fucked with her. She turned around and started jacking my vibes. Right? At a certain point, I think everybody is flawed, right? I think everybody in their vantage point is somewhat entitled to feel how they feel. But as an outsider, I see where everybody's fucking up. I see where everybody is trying to use their leverage and work their move and, you know, make Ice look bad. And Ice is trying to make them look bad as well. So I can't side with no one completely. I just think this is a very unfortunate situation for Cleotrapa because you thought you had a friend. You thought you had a golden opportunity in front of you, and both accounts have been melted down. All right. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. I really wasn't planning on being here for an hour and a half, but I told y'all it was going to be a long video because I knew that there was at least a half hour just full of fucking Cleo shit anyway. And of course, I was going to have to come in and fill in some of the blanks from industry context. So again, let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. This is probably going to be one of the most detailed versions of this story that you're going to find on the internet. So tell a friend to tell a friend if they're interested, if they're curious about this, if they're curious about how the industry works and getting this story. Tell them to come fuck with your boy J Nolan. Tell them to subscribe to J Nolan on YouTube. Tell them to, you know, follow the Inside the Industry podcast playlist so that they get updates. And I will catch y'all on the next one. All right? Much love and respect, y'all. Peace!
Yeah, king of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross I'm out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.